UFC Austin weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. It's a great main event. Kattar versus Josh Emmett. The whole card is really good. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications and share the video as well. We'll talk about each of the matchups for a final time after seeing the fighters on the scales. Let's get into matchup number one. Daukaus versus Roman Dolidze. Earlier on in the week, I have been on Daukaus. Checked him out on the scales. There is Daukaus there, and above him is Dolidze. Physicality difference is going to be obviously clear here. Dolidze is a powerhouse, and he's jacked. But as far as actual skill sets go, I think Daukaus is the superior striker. Not as physically strong, but he's grittier standing up for sure. On the mat, I think the jiu-jitsu could be fairly competitive. You see the face-off there. Little bit of a height towards the Daukaus side by not much. I don't think that the muscle tissue difference is going to equate to victory for Dolidze. I think Daukaus beats him on a decision. He also has the better fight IQ of the two. I see him getting his hand raised. I like this matchup for him. Looking towards the betting side, Daukaus minus 250, Dolidze plus 230. I like Daukaus to win. I do think he gets it done by decision. Not a terrible money line play. If you are looking maybe an over 2.5 rounds, best value minus 138, but more around the minus 165 range could be a solid play. I think we're going long. Daukaus by decision plus 160 as well. We're going Daukaus to start the night off. Let's keep running up. Next matchup, Hawes and Deron Winn. All week I have been on Hawes. Let's check them out on the scales here. Deron Winn is a really tricky wrestler, though. There he is, Deron Winn. There is Hawes. Obviously, the height difference is something to maybe worry about if you are towards the side of Deron Winn. I will pull up the face-off between these two, and you're going to note the height difference immediately. You can see it. There's a fair difference, right? 6 foot to 5'11". That's fairly substantial, especially at 185. Deron Winn is a really thick dude, but I definitely think he can make 170 pounds. Pure wrestling, I'd say he's better. Overall MMA game, it's Hawes. He's more explosive. He's more dangerous standing up. I like Hawes for the win. I'm actually going to go with knockout. I see him landing something down the center line, hurting the shorter Deron and finishing him in this fight. Now, looking at the betting side, the odds favor Hawes, of course. Minus 258 best value, Winn plus 245. Looking at betting this matchup, the money line, maybe a parlay piece, tack on Hawes. I like the favorite here. Looking at maybe knockout, don't love it because it's only plus 147, plus 135 range. I'm not feeling that prop. I'm thinking that your best play would be Hawes, either money line or parlay him up. I see him beating Deron Winn. In an interesting matchup for sure. The size difference is a factor, and I do think the striking differential really favors Hawes. But the wrestling, Deron Winn, if he can get takedowns, he could be very successful. But I'm going to bank on Hawes for the win here. Let's jump to the next one. Cody Stamann versus Eddie Wineland. Earlier on in the week, I have been on Cody Stamann. There is the flex from Cody Stamann. There is Eddie Wineland. Wineland's happy to fight, and he loves it. And I'm a fan of Eddie Wineland's style. Come forward, strike, brawl, and he's definitely dangerous. He was winning his last matchup before getting caught against John Castaneda. But let's be honest, Cody Stamann is no John Castaneda. The physiques don't really make a huge difference, but that is the official face-off there. I think that Stamann's going to get the win. He's got the superior wrestling. I feel like Wineland could still get hurt on the feet, though, even if he's having a bit of success. Wrestling being mixed in by Stamann. Big hook as well. I think the lead hook maybe drops Eddie Wineland. I'm going KO for Cody Stamann, and the KO loss streak will continue for Wineland, who was a hard guy to finish for a really long time. But when you start getting KO losses, I think they compile. I'm going Stamann KO. Money line, Cody Stamann, minus 500, best value, plus 475 for Wineland as the dog. Looking towards maybe under 2.5, plus 120. Don't love it. Wineland to get knocked out. So Stamann by KO, plus 225. It's not a terrible line. It's better than playing minus 500 because there's no value on the money line bet on Stamann. He's a very confident pick, and he's going to get it done. It could also go the full 3 and be a fight that goes distance here. And I like the Cody Stamann side getting his hand raised. But I feel like Wineland's getting finished. I'm going Stamann to knock out Eddie Wineland here. Let's keep running up the card. Next matchup, ladies, Gloria de Paula versus Mariah Oliveira. All week I have been on de Paula. Quickly checked him out on the scales. I think she's the more dangerous boxer of the two. think she's more explosive, hits harder. And I think she's going to be successful in the matchup. And I feel like she's going to hurt Mariah Oliveira here. And maybe even get her out of there. I've kind of been leaning towards knockout. But we will pull up the official face-off here. Let's get it. Size similar. Intense face-off for sure. I like that they were right at each other's noses, or at least near to it. I think Gloria de Paula is a more vicious striker than Oliveira. I feel like power differential favors her. I see her winning, maybe even mixing in some grappling as well. I see the side of Gloria de Paula confidently. I'm leaning that knockout way, though. Looking at the odds, minus 255, de Paula. Oliveira, plus 245. I like Gloria de Paula to win. I'm going to call it by KO, but the expected line is decision. That prop is minus 110 for decision. De Paula KO plus 400. And actually, de Paula's submission upwards of plus 1200. I think KO is much more likely. I'm going by KO at plus 400. I think she sleeps Mariah Oliveira in this fight, and I'm intrigued to see it go down. I'm feeling Gloria de Paula style a lot here. I think she can make Oliveira quit, who's also quit in fights in the past, and I see de Paula win. I'm going to say knockout. Get that big plus money on it, but money line, it's wide. A lot of wide lines on the prelims. Danny Chavez versus Ricardo Ramos. I'm excited to see these two go after it. Ramos, the younger guy, I've been on him all week. And I'm a fan, actually. I like Ramos' game. He's developing well. There's Danny Chavez. Looks in very good shape as always. There is Ramos, who looks like Ricardo Ramos. Problem is, you don't necessarily always know what to expect with Ramos because I am concerned a bit with the fight IQ at times. There's moments where I really don't like what he does, but I think he's evolving. And he's young, 25, taking on a man 35, so big difference on age. I guess technically 26, so 9-year difference in the age. Fights experience favors Ramos. Look at the face-off there. It doesn't tell you a ton of the story. I think from distance, though, Ramos has a clear edge in the striking. I wouldn't be surprised if he out-grapples Danny Chavez, too. I'm going to bank on Ramos to win a decision here. Looking at the lines, Ramos is a wide favorite, minus 270. Danny Chavez, plus 250. Ramos wins by submission, plus 400. Ramos to win by decision, minus 130. Fight ends inside distance with Ramos winning, wins inside distance, plus 260. I feel like we're going long, but I hate that decision prop. It would be a wide money line attack or a parlay addition. Also, the over 2.5, minus 185, could come through. But if Ramos did get a stoppage, I wouldn't be up in arms surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. I definitely think it's possible outcome. I'm going Ramos for the win confidently, though. Let's keep running up. Still on the prelims, man. We got a ton of prelims. Next fight, Jeremiah Wells versus Court McGee. Earlier on in the week, I have been on Court McGee, the OG. There is Jeremiah Wells. Incredible shape. There is Court McGee, who's actually very well built himself. Pull up the face-off between these two, and let's check it out. Very respectable, like old school face-off. I'm covering my face with it here. Like that's an OG face-off. Respect between these guys. And I think we're going to have a very interesting fight. Wells will start hard and look to do damaging shots early. I think that we will see Court McGee weather the storm and get a unanimous decision, taking rounds 2 and 3, potentially even submitting Jeremiah Wells on the mat. Very difficult to finish Court McGee. McGee, value-wise, minus 116. I'm seeing a plus 205 tag over at 5 dimes. Don't know if that's accurate. If it is, I love the dog side of Court McGee. But we're about pick'ems here for these two. Close odds. Looking at the fight going over 2.5, minus 185 with a powerhouse like Wells, that would be worrisome, but it is possible. McGee's been a decision machine, win or loss as of late. McGee by decision, plus 150. I like the side of Court McGee to win. I'm saying he gets it done. Close money, but note that he's an older guy, more of a gatekeeper position. Jeremiah Wells, not much younger than him, but, new to the UFC, right? He's recently burst onto the scene with big wins. I think Court McGee gets a W over Jeremiah Wells, though. I'm going to say decision. Next fight, Jasudavicius versus Natália Silva. Ladies going at it here. I've been on Jasudavicius confidently for the majority of the week, and that will continue regardless of the weigh-ins, which were climatic. They were exciting. These two girls kind of got after it. I'll pull up the image from the face-offs, but if you check out those weigh-in highlights, you'll see they were kind of jawing at one another. Jasudavicius kind of put her finger in the face of Silva, and Silva did not like it. They had to be separated. It was good. It was intense. I liked it. Jasudavicius, I think, is such a superior striking technician. Offensively, with his jiu-jitsu, Natália is going to be dangerous. But Jasmine, I think, is going to be too hard to even get into those compromised spots. I think she outworks Natália Silva for the entire thing. And I see Jasmine Jasudavicius win. I'm going to call it by unanimous decision. But if she got like a volume KO TKO, it wouldn't shock me. Jasudavicius minus 225. Silva plus 210. I'm saying we're going over. Over 2.5 is minus 210. Fight starts round 2, minus 750. We ain't throwing on that. Jasudavicius wins by decision is plus 105. But it's even at minus 130. That's ugly. Jasudavicius by KO TKO plus 500. I'm calling decision. I'm going Jasudavicius for the win. I don't think she's a bad idea. If you're looking to play like, a parlay that mixes things up, maybe you money line it. There's a lot of wide favorites here. So the money line attack would be like a heavy money line hit, which is not optimal, but it is likely of success. I'm going Jasudavicius for the W. I see her beating Silva, who's just so raw, so raw. Featured prelim, Adrian, Yanez, Tony, Kelley. Let's get this one started. I've been on Yanez all week. Nothing on the scales will change, but I've said this. Tony Kelley's not going to be an easy fight. He ended up missing weight, which is definitely not a good sign. Comes in at 137.5. The face-off was extremely intense. These two were ready to fight right there. They were ready to throw down. Yanez wasn't having it. I like the little high guard from Tony Kelley there. But it was intense, man. They got at each other. They had to be separated. That's a great face-off, and it's a very intense fight. Obviously, Tony Kelley said some degrading things in the corner of Andrea Lee, several weeks back. Yanez gonna look to make him pay here. I think Yanez is the superior fighter, better hands for sure, smoother, faster, crispier, more dangerous, and does more damage. Tony Kelley is durable though, and he's not a bad fighter. It's gonna be Adrian Yanez, I think, win by decision. If he got a knockout though, I wouldn't be up in arms shocked by any means. Like, Adrian Yanez can let the hands go, and he's damn dangerous. But I do respect Tony Kelley's durability. Minus 250 Yanez, Tony Kelley plus 255. Let's see here. Over 2.5 minus 120. I like over 1.5 minus 200. If Yanez does sleep him, I'm not going to be shocked. Yanez by decision plus 185, plus 215 best value. Yanez KO TKO plus 165. I like Adrian Yanez a ton though. I think he's like one of the locks on the card. He's an extremely confident pick, and I see him beating up Tony Kelley. But a live Tony Kelley that probably surprises people by going the distance here. Yanez for the victory in our featured prelim. Let's jump to the main card. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Julian Marquez versus Gregory Rodrigues to start things off. Exciting matchup. I've been on Julian Marquez this week. Dangerous, possibly. But I think possibility of success, too. There is Gregory Rodrigues. There is Julian Marquez. Note that Rodrigues took this fight on short notice against, I would say, a pretty game Julian Marquez. He's had some layoffs, which haven't been great for him, but I think he's going to look better here. Not super consistent as of late, but fought, what was it, like a year and a month ago? His last fight was a 1 year and 2 months ago. He beat Sam Alvey. Not a huge win. There's the face-off there. The pick's not going to change. I think Marquez could actually hurt Gregory Rodrigues with a straight shot, especially Rodrigues jumping in on short notice, coming off a loss to Armin Petrosian in the last one. I think the grappling, Rodrigues more dangerous if he is on top, but I could see Marquez stopping him from getting there. Julian Marquez to win is the official pick, and I'm going to call it by KO. Looking at the lines, Marquez plus 160 as the dog, Gregory Rodrigues minus 170 as the favorite. Marquez underdog over 2.5 rounds. I don't think happens. I think we're going under. Fight ends inside of the distance is minus 190. I like that tag. Under 2.5 minus 150. Marquez to win by KO TKO plus 420 best value. Lucky number right there. So I think Marquez KO TKO is going down. That's what I'm riding with. I'm seeing the knockout. Upset win for Julian Marquez over Gregory Rodrigues in this fight. Should be an exciting matchup for sure, and it's not impossible for Rodrigues to sleep him, but I think Marquez could come through as an underdog, guys. I'm going dog city here. Jumping up to the next one, Damir Ismagulov versus Guram Kutateladze. exciting as hell matchup. I've been on Guram, the underdog, throughout the week here. It's a Khamzat Chimaev training partner, and I do believe he is a very talented fighter, and Ismagulov's no joke. Concerning gas tank, though, going late. Looking at the scales, there is Guram, absolutely grainy, shredded, and thin. And then there is Damir Ismagulov, who had no troubles with the scale. I know he did have a canceled matchup most last time out. I don't remember the exact name. Isn't coming to me. But I know it got canceled because he missed weight by a lot. We talked about it on the money line last night. Let's check out the face-off. I don't feel like I can change my stance here based on anything. We're going to see when the fight goes down who gets the W. I feel like Guram Kutateladze is going to surprise people with his scrambling ability, getting up to his feet, landing strikes offensively. Ismagulov might get tired later. I can see Guram stealing the third. How does he do in the first and second? That's something truly to find out. I feel like the fight's going long here. I'm expecting all 3 rounds. I love the over 2.5 side of this thing, certainly. Now, as far as the money line odds, though, you're looking at minus 160 Ismagulov, plus 150 Kutateladze. Looking towards maybe playing that over 2.5, minus 245, best value around minus 225. I think over 2.5 is a good play. Kutateladze by decision, I don't love, but I do think that's his most likely method of victory. Plus 275, you're seeing best value at plus 350 over at Unibet. I like Guram Kutateladze for an upset win over Damir Ismagulov in a fight I can't wait for. Real, like, on-the-rise prospect matchup for the lightweight division. Next fight, Joaquin Buckley versus Albert Duraev. Earlier on in the week, I have been on Joaquin Buckley. Duraev on the opposite side. There is Duraev. I say Khamzat Chimaev light. He ain't Chimaev, but he does have that flair. There is Joaquin Buckley. We'll pull up the face-offs, too, so you guys can get a glimpse of these guys staring down one another's throats, really. I mean, they were ready to go. They were ready to go. Buckley's not playing. He's coming in hot. They're close, nose to nose. Standing up, Buckley has a clear-cut power advantage. We've seen Duraev hurt. I think he's going to get hurt in this fight, and I'm going to bank on Joaquin Buckley actually knocking Duraev out. Biggest fear, Duraev landing a takedown and just remaining on top. So maybe a live betting option available too, but the problem is Duraev is such a wide favorite. If he has a successful first round, he's going to be minus 700 live. Looking at the lines, Buckley plus 205 is a dog. Duraev minus 219 best value. I'm going the underdog plus 205 over at my bookie. You got to love it. I think we're going over a round and a half, minus 145, pretty likely. Buckley to win by KO TKO. Plus 325 best value, around plus 275. I think Buckley does get the knockout win. I think he hurts Duraev in the second round and puts him to sleep. I'm going to go with the underdog, Joaquin Buckley, to win by knockout. That's back-to-back-to-back dogs as well. Let's get to the featured bout of the night, a matchup we all can't wait for. It's Tim Means taking on Kevin Holland. Holland's such a fan favorite guy, and you can tell Dana White loves him too. Good fight here. I think Kevin Holland is going to get the win. That's the side I've been on all week. We'll look at the scales. There is Holland looking lean, ready to go. And then there is Tim Means looking intense, ready for war. And we'll pull up the official face-off, too. Got to get that face-off pulled up. There is a little bit of love, but mild intensity. Tim Means said something about that necklace that our boy was wearing. I believe it says Big Mouth. I think it says Big Mouth. I can't read it. I think it says Big Mouth, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know officially what that chain says. You probably got to check out the IG of Kevin Holland. Nothing changes here for the pick. I think Kevin Holland gets to win. I've been actually saying I might see club and sub in this matchup. I could see him hurting Tim Means and then tapping him out. Looking at the line, wide towards Holland. Minus 255. And then Tim Means, the dog, plus 255. I like Kevin Holland's side to get the win. I'm saying he gets it done. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 120. I think we're going under. Under 2.5, minus 110. Holland wins inside of the distance, plus 110, plus 130. Holland to win by sub is crazy wide, plus 700 best value. Holland KO TKO around plus 220. I think club and sub, but I also totally agree with knockout. You could go inside distance. I say Kevin Holland's getting his hand raised. And I see him finishing Tim Means. But I'm telling you, that guillotine position might be there. Watch for it. Means ducks that neck into it. If he got hurt by a big punch, I think Holland could tap him out, especially with those thin, long arms. Very good for front chokes. Let's jump to the co-main event. Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Joe Lauzon. All week, I have been on Joe Lauzon. Something odd happened at weigh-in, so we'll pull up the official scales. There is Joe Lauzon. There is Cowboy Cerrone. Both make weight. No issues there. What happens? Joe Lauzon is dealing with cramps and doesn't come out for the ceremonial weigh-ins. It's a little bit worrisome. The fight should still go on. Like, the cramp should not be there 24 hours from now. But let's be real. That's kind of nerve-wracking. Regardless, I'm not changing the pick. I'm staying on Joe Lauzon. I think his fast starting ability will be a difference maker. But it's a concern, man. It's a concern. There's Dana White showing some love to the legendary Cowboy. Let's look at the lines here. It's a weird fight, guys. I say dog it up. Dog or pass, but if you love Cerrone, you understand going his way. Plus 144, best value for Lauzon. Minus 152, best value for Cerrone. I think we're going under 2.5, minus 150. I like the under, man. I think we're going short time. Seeing plus 130, but I don't think that's accurate. Minus 150 range, under 2.5. I think it's a quality bet. Joe Lauzon wins inside of the distance, plus 240, best value. Lauzon to win by KO TKO, which is the official pick. Actually upwards of plus 500, but more around the plus 350 range. What about Lauzon by sub? Lauzon by sub plus 700. It's a damn fight. I'm saying it ends inside of the distance, goes under the 2.5. Maybe that's your best play here if you're looking to stay on the safer side because there's so many unknowns, especially with these cramps of Lauzon. This fight's destined to be odd, and I think it's going to be a great one, though. Legends versus Legends matchup. One that maybe they both ride off into the sunset with? I don't think so, though. Cerrone said he wants to do another one versus a legend. So let's go. Cowboy Cerrone, not done yet. But I say Joe Lauzon upsets him and gets the win. Main event of the evening. If you guys have not yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Calvin Kattar versus Josh Emmett. Earlier on in the week, I have been with the Calvin Kattar side. I'm thinking both these Massachusetts guys get the W's here, but a little worrisome with Lauzon with the cramps. There is Josh Emmett shredded out on the scale. There is Calvin Kattar lean, ready to rock. We'll pull up the official face-off between the two. And the biggest thing you're going to notice with the face-off is the height differential. You see that Calvin Kattar, a fair bit taller than Josh Emmett. Not extremely taller, but like it's a good 4 to 5 inches. Technically listed at 5'11", as opposed to Josh Emmett at 5'6", but only a 2-inch reach advantage favors Calvin Kattar. Kattar's a smooth boxer, though. I think Emmett is the harder puncher of the two, but Calvin Kattar is, I think, the better technical boxer, the better technical kickboxer. I think the better technician overall. I think he's more built to go longer. I think Josh Emmett, being muscle-bound as much as he is going to gas going into that third, fourth round. And I see Calvin Kattar getting the finish of Josh Emmett. We've seen Kattar hurt a lot of people, and we've seen Emmett hurt and actually knocked out too. And I think Calvin Kattar is going to knock him out. I'm thinking second to fourth round KO. I'm going to bank on third. I'll put it right in the middle. But I think Calvin Kattar by a KO is going to be the official lean here. It's a fun-ass matchup. I can't wait to see it. Josh Emmett's definitely game. Wrestling for wrestling, I'm interested to see how that one plays out. I think Kattar's still a bit better, man. I feel like everywhere he has advantages outside of pure knockout power that definitely favors Emmett. But durability, Kattar's is through the roof. Looking at the odds, minus 220 for Calvin Kattar. Josh Emmett plus 210. Let's look here. I think it goes under 4.5, which is plus money, plus 115. Kattar to win by KO TKO, which is my official pick, plus 250. I'm confident in it. I think Kattar's getting it done inside of the distance. I love the money line on Calvin Kattar. I'm extremely confident he gets the finish here, and he beats Josh Emmett in what's going to be a hell of a fight. Josh Emmett's definitely a difficult test, but the durability of Kattar is, in my opinion, unmatched. Massachusetts needs a W. Boston needs a W. I mean, the Celtics just took that fat L in the finals. But this weekend, I think we're getting the double Massachusetts wins with Lauzon and Kattar at the top. Back-to-back W's for it. I'm going Calvin Kattar for the finish. Now, I do want to give you guys some parlays, potentially some to play. Cash a little bit, get a little plus money for yourself, have a little fun, and, take a little bit of risk. We're looking at Calvin Kattar, right, with Joe Lauzon. I was on this one heavy. I liked it on the money line. I said this is the mass hole parlay plus 244. Lauzon not showing up to the ceremonial weigh-ins makes me a little nervous, but I still like it. Plus 244 is pretty great value, and you got two very, very live and I think high likelihood of success bets. Lauzon's more concerning because of the what-if factors. Let's say you don't want to play with Joe Lauzon. You're like, listen, I'm not doing Lauzon. He's been off for a while. You need safer plays. I think you can go Kattar, Holland, and Yanez. I think that's fantastic. Plus 161. You want to add in something else to really juice it? Over 2.5 with Ismagulov and Kutateladze, I think should happen. Plus 269, nearly plus 270. You'll find it around that range. I don't think that's a terrible bet. You want to keep getting crazier, though? I mean, the wilder we get, the more risky we get. But Kyle Daukaus could be an addition at plus 417. You don't like him. Phil Hawes, I think, is not a bad idea. Plus 411 if you're into both. Plus 616 there. It's getting dangerous, though. As we're getting long like this, I don't like the looks of it, especially because it's with some strong favorites. It's not impossible for us to, shite the bet on that one. If you don't like Lauzon, but you're still thinking, hey, I want to play that under 2.5 there, plus 469. I think that's a great play right here. If you're like, I'm taking the full risk on J-Lo, give me the dog, plus 786. We can go absolutely nuts and load these things up with a true Hail Mary style parlay. Plus 1,618 if you have Daukaus, Hawes, Lauzon, the over 2.5 on Ismagulov, taking on Dolidze, Yanez, Holland, and Kattar. Could be a hitter. It's a risky hitter, 1,000%. If you had it in Buckley, just out of curiosity, plus 5,000 if he came through. Not saying to do that. That's a true lottery ticket. Guys, be smart with your parlays. Play things that you're pretty confident in. I don't think it's a terrible idea if you did end up adding some of the ladies in, like Jasudavicius, I'm pretty confident in. And if you're like, listen, take Lauzon off the list, you don't even want a dog. Yanez, Holland, Kattar, the over 2.5 on Ismagulov, Kutateladze, Jasudavicius, minus 240. Plus 423 is the value for that one. I think that's a heavy hitter that definitely could come through as well if you want to risk it with the women's MMA action. Plus 621. We're getting nuts here. Guys, be smart with your parlays. Bet intelligently. I think there's some quality bets to be made this weekend. Love the money line attacks. Love a couple Hail Mary props. And, sometimes we got to go a little bit nuts and throw down on some Hail Mary parlays. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications and share the video as well. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you don't have anything to say, but you enjoy the content, just drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm. Much love, my people, and I will see you live for the fights tomorrow. 100 like Shuey, baby. Peace, everyone.